Hi friends! Today we are going to be baking something, so come on, let's have some fun! Alright friends, today we are going to be making biscuits. Now, I'm not going to make them, I'm just going to explain the activity and I will post the recipe in the description of the channel so you can have that. So let's get started. All right. Fix this here real quick. Oops. Yeah, maybe. Okay. So we are going to make biscuits. So what you'll need is ingredients, which is 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a cup of butter or shortening, and 3/4 a cup of buttermilk. Now, the objective of this activity is to measure. So you definitely want to teach your child how to use the measuring tools, excuse me, use the measuring tools to measure up the ingredients. You're going to preheat the oven to 425 degrees in a large bowl. Combine the first 5 dry ingredients with a spoon. Cut in shortening with a pastry cutter or 2 knives until mixture resembles coarse crumbs. Slowly add buttermilk. If the dough is too stiff, add more buttermilk. Roll out the dough on a floured surface. Cut dough with a biscuit cutter. Place biscuits on baking sheet. Bake 12 to 14 minutes or until golden brown on top. So the first thing you want to do is have the children wash their hands. Obviously, washing hands is very important when you're preparing food, so you want to instill this at a young age. You want to clean the countertops, include the children in drying utensils, wiping the tables, and putting supplies away. So they learn that they make a mess, they have to clean it up. It's a good thing to instill in your children while they're young. Then you're going to gather the ingredients and necessary tools and invite children to join you. Read the recipe to the children and talk about what to do first. So this says mix the first 5 ingredients. Can you find and count them for me? So we're going to show them, where the ingredients are here and count the first 5 ingredients. Okay? Offer a child the opportunity to mix, scoop, stir, and pour, and describe what they're doing. So Ethan is scooping the flour into the measuring cup that Maggie is holding. Let's count how many scoops it takes to fill the measuring cup. Okay, so maybe you're using a spoon to fill up the measuring cup. So you can count how many spoonfuls that the child is putting in so you get some counting in. Talk about the measurements in the recipes and tools to measure them. So, show them the measuring cups and show them the measurements of how to read the measurements on the cup. Let's see. So you would say the recipe says we need 2 teaspoons of sugar. A teaspoon is small. Let's look for a small spoon. Okay? Or if you have, the set that has the teaspoon, you can do that and show them the difference between, a tablespoon and a teaspoon. It's very, very different. Then you can have the children roll out and cut the biscuits. This is a fun part. They love using a rolling pin and rolling that dough out. Let them get up on a chair or whatever so they can reach the counter. Include them, and then have them cut out the biscuits, with the biscuit cutter. Just let them punch them out. Okay. All right. Now, for the levels here, I'll show you. For a small child or maybe somebody that hasn't baked before or something like that, invite them to measure the ingredients with the small measuring tools, a teaspoon to scoop out the sugar, etc. And then you can pour it into the larger bowl. The next level, when measuring ingredients, ask the child to choose the best tool. Large scoop to fill 1 cup or half a teaspoon to fit in opening of a spice jar. So you could kind of ask them, it says, we need to measure 2 cups of flour. Here's the cup we need to fill. Which scoop would work best? So if they have 2 choices, they could pick which one would work best. Okay, then the next level is have the child choose a biscuit cutter. Maybe you have different sizes and they could pick. Invite him or her to roll out the dough to the necessary size to cut a biscuit. You want to make a large biscuit and a medium biscuit. Can you roll out the dough so that it is wide enough for both cutters? Okay, so they're kind of in their mind doing that spatial awareness, like, okay, well, I need this much room and this much room, so I've got to roll the dough out to allow for that. Allow the child to decide the proper tool to measure ingredients. Small liquid measuring cup for buttermilk, large cup for measuring flour. So we need 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Will we use the same tool for measuring that as we used for the buttermilk? No. Teach them, that there's a difference. Your dry ingredients go in the dry cups and your wet ingredients usually go into a cup, like a measuring cup, which usually has like a spout. So there's different measuring tools. And then finally, measure with the child to determine how many teaspoons would equal a tablespoon, how many 1/4 cups are in a cup, etc. Invite the child to use the proper vocabulary when measuring. We're using a teaspoon, or we're using a tablespoon, or this is a cup, that kind of thing. Okay. Some questions that you can ask while you are doing the activity to report back to your teacher. Did the child notice measurement differences? Did they tell that, a teaspoon and a tablespoon were different sizes? How did the child manipulate the measuring tools? Were they able to hold them and pour and everything? Did the child understand the purpose of the recipe and refer to it? Teaching, this is, very good, like, literacy skills here, showing them, this is a recipe, this is what a recipe looks like. It tells us the ingredients and then it gives us directions on what to do. It's good because it teaches them that words have meaning. And in this case, it's to make something. It's telling us how to do something. We read stories and things like that entertain us, but we also have print that tells us what to do, that it helps us to make something, so that they can see the different print, like the different purpose for different kinds of print. Okay, so that's all of that. You can use some different tools for different children. You can use biscuit cutter with large handles, or use a high contrast colored pastry sheet to roll out the dough and cut the biscuits. These are just different things. For English language learners, you can help the children to follow the recipe while speaking their first language. So maybe you're able to translate for them into their language. Watch for nonverbal cues that signal desire to participate, such as gestures, body movements, and facial expressions. So yeah, if they're gonna, they want to grab that measuring spoon and they want to help, yeah, definitely let them join in on the fun. Okay. Invite the English language learners to share the names of the ingredients in their language. Absolutely. And include a recipe chart in children's first languages. So if you have the ability to do that, that's helpful. So that is it for making biscuits. So I hope you use this. If you have your own recipe, that's fine too. Use your recipe. Maybe it's grandma's recipe handed down to you and it's your favorite. Use that too. This one's just came with the curriculum. So if you don't have a recipe, go ahead, you can use it. But if you, like I said, if you have a recipe, use it, no problem. The whole idea is just to get them measuring and exploring different tools and things like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Go bake some biscuits and let me know about it. Thanks for watching.